Hello everyone and welcome to All Quiet in the Trenches, a game where you play as an officer in World War One in the German army, trying to keep your men safe, trying to keep your men calm, and trying to keep them alive during what is a very, very tough time, of course, in World War One. And spoiler alert, it's not going to be all quiet in the trenches for very long. And so this is kind of like a management turn-based RPG game with some combat elements as well. Which is also turn-based. And here we are, in the trenches. Saturday, May 15th, 1915. I can still hardly believe that a few days ago, back home, I had been appointed Unteroffizier in charge of the handful of this men. And here they were, sneaking through the trenches behind me, not 100 metres from the enemy positions with heavy packs and dwindling strength. Senior teacher Wilhelm Schmidbauer wore a precise moustache and seemed surprisingly spry for his age. Reinhard Hunt had already made fast friends with his comrades on the way here and entertained them with his stories. Caspar Peterson was slightly stocky and was panting under his heavy pack, and Jean-Pierre Danner calmly vigilant and keeping his weapon ready. Eventually we found the dugout of Lieutenant von Karlsbruck, to whom we had been assigned. There you are, Herr Unteroffizier. You seem to be taking your time. Surely you're fit enough to start working straight away. The lieutenant's condescending gaze swept over my men, and then rested appraisingly on me. No, I'm going to take up from my men. My men are tired. And of course, the decisions we make are going to make other people like us or dislike us, and that's going to affect the story going forward. My men are tired, Herr Lieutenant. I objected. The train broke down. We had to hurry here so that we could... The lieutenant raised his hand. Don't think you'll get away with your lazy excuses with me, Herr Officer. Can't say that. I'll have to put that nonsense out of your mind. His contemptuous look pierced me. Find your sleeping quarters and report back to me. In the meantime, I will think of a sufficiently difficult task for a group to learn right away what being tired really means here at the front. I looked at my men's faces. They looked dejected and angry, but also grateful for my attempt to stand up for them. Without so much as another glance at me, Lieutenant von Karlsbruck, I think, turned back to the documents on his table. Welcome to the trenches. Okay, here we go. So we have Hunt, Danner, Schmidbauer, and Peterson. See what they have to say. We've only the rations that we took with us. We're going to need to find some more places to get some food. And you see that every person has different personality traits and so forth. So Peterson here is physically fit, so he's going to take a little bit longer before he gets exhausted. But he is clumsy, and we kind of get on okay with each other. He's somewhat pragmatic, he's not very patriotic, he's very outspoken, fairly courageous, somewhat distant. So he might be a little tough to keep on side. Then let's have a look at Peterson. That might have been the best. No, we were just looking at Peterson, weren't we? So let's look at Schmidbauer. He is also physically fit, but he's inattentive, so probably not good to put on guard duty. Danner is physically fit, but already tired. He's very good at. He's probably our best fighter, being trained in melee and in shooting. And Hunt is physically fit, but also tired. Okay. So someone wants to talk to me. Okay, that's von Karlsbruck there. So what we need to do is fetch rations. Otherwise we don't have any food to eat. So we also need to maintain the trenches. Who do we want to put to that? Probably, given these two are tired, it's going to be a bit more of an exhausting job. Although, so is fetching rations. But we'll send... We need to just have a look at who's got the most kind of morale at the moment. Peterson's a little low on the old morale. So what we'll do, he is clumsy, but we'll send him to fetch rations. And then the job from Lieutenant von Karlsbruck here. We'll put Schmidbauer, Danner, and Hunt all to maintain the trenches. We have to do that, otherwise delay will have consequences. We have low prestige. We're still in pretty good mood with our troop, but low prestige means that we are advised to not strain the patience of our superiors, especially Lieutenant von Karlsbruck there. Okay, Sunday the 16th of May, and we can go find out some other people. We'll go speak to some other people. Your group is on night watch tonight. Make sure your men don't fall asleep. So probably someone we don't want to be too inattentive. Someone we can actually rely on to do that. We only need 2 people to do that. So we can put people to rest, or we might want to think about where else we might want to put them instead. We just need to see if there's anyone who's well worth doing. You know what, we'll give Dana and Hunt a break. We'll put Schmidt-Bauer, and we'll put Peterson on as well. I think that will do well. The other 2 can have a rest because they're a little bit exhausted. And we've got Russians for 2 days. That's not bad. And this is it. You have to manage your different elements, the different people with their own way of thinking. My men are tired, Herr Lieutenant. I objected. The chamber. Okay, that's what we've already done. A few hours ago, the roar of artillery had begun. At first, it was as quiet as the rumble of thunder in the distance, but recently it had become steadily louder and more threatening. Suddenly, there was a thud, and not 10 metres from the hiding spot where my men were huddled, an artillery shell shredded the dugout of our neighbouring troop. Pieces of wood and metal flew for metres, and smoke obscured the view. The noise was deafening for a few seconds, and died away as quickly as it had come. An almost eerie silent gasp of shock passed, then my men and I jumped up, pushing aside broken beams in search of our buried comrades. We found 2, for whom all help came too late. A third, however, we could still hear panting. He was lying with his underbody trapped under the fallen beams. His face was distorted with pain, and he was barely conscious. My men stood around him, forlorn, looked over to his men for help. Hunt said pleadingly, "We must try to help him." Together we lifted the beam from the chest and only now saw the full extent of the damage. His chest looked crushed and his hips strangely twisted. A long splinter protruded from his abdomen, and his shirt was soaked in blood. Dana shook his head. "He's beyond help. A mercy killing will save us both, him and us misery." We've got to try. We can't do mercy killings. We're going to give it a go. I feel like we have to try. "Get a stretcher," I ordered Hunt and Dana. First I wanted to get him out of this wreckage and then decide whether I would expose my men to the danger of carrying him to the military hospital. There, the nurses could determine whether and how to help him. Okay, so that's actually going to be something we're going to need to do. But presumably we're going to have to speak to some other people. There he is there. So we hardly have anything left to eat. Someone urgently needs to get supplies from the camp, otherwise we won't have anything by tomorrow. And presumably Carlsberg also has some issues as well. The artillery must have destroyed one of our telephone lines. Instruct one of your men to carry the message to the command post immediately. Looks the French are planning an attack and we urgently need more men. Right, so who's going to be best to carry this chap? All of you are quite physically fit, which is good. I think we'll leave Hunt off the wounded soldier. He's fairly compassionate. I don't want him to lose that. Who wants to deliver the message? Do we have anyone who's suitable for that job? Okay, we have no one else who's particularly suited. So, Hunt, you're going to deliver the message. There is a risk of injury, as with everything. Fetching rations, we will give that to... Who's still left? We'll give that to Peterson, I think. And then the wounded soldier will be Schmidt-Bauer and Dana. We've only got rations for a day. We do have skirmishes. We've got low prestige, but we're still in a good mood in general. The advanced emplacement has been destroyed by artillery. Now I'm seeing well-covered position there, and the French have easy way into our trenches. I'm afraid that if we try to rebuild the position directly at the front line, the French will do their best to prevent it. Okay, we can't rebuild the emplacement this turn. We're going to have to do that next turn, I would say, as we just don't have the spare men. Okay, so someone's become slightly wounded. Was that Hunt? It was Hunt. He's lightly wounded, only without too much issue. We did it. We got the wounded man to the hospital quickly enough. The doctor says he will survive his wounds. And regularly we tried, at least we were able to spare one family the grief. And so, yes. Hunt here was wounded, but don't worry, it's not bad, I can go on. So, we need to hold up in the bunker. We also want to try rebuild the emplacement, but the risk of injury is very high indeed. It's a very high risk of injury. and is exhausting. Who's able to do this, do we think? You know, with the constant artillery fire, I think we're just going to have to wait it out. Wednesday, May 1915. For the past day, my men and I have been sitting tightly packed in our bunker while the French artillery rained down salvo after salvo of death and destruction on us. During the hard work of our first day in the trenches, I had finally found a quiet minute to have a personal conversation with my men. So now they're sitting next to me, tense and still mostly strangers. I fervently hoped they would survive the shelling unscathed. The silence between us was in sharp contrast to the constant droning outside. I lost where I was there. When, after hours, the firing suddenly stopped, a sigh of relief went through the ranks of some of the young soldiers. However, that was the moment when the veterans and the other troops tensed up and began to load their rifles. The French were attacking. Stay with God for Kaiser and the fatherland, or no, stay together, people. I shouted to my soldiers and led them to our position in the trenches. Together we halted and mentally prepared ourselves for the upcoming battle. And here we go. So there is kind of two stages to this game as far as I understand. You have the management side of things there, and then you have the fighting stage, where you're actually out on the field versus the French. Although unlike some games, you're not managing all the army, you're just managing your own unit. The enemy has superior numbers, we may soon have to retreat from the trenches. You and your greenhorns are to collect and evacuate all the ammunition you can find. If we are to lose this trench, at least we won't lose our equipment. So, this is something we have to bear in mind. We've only got so much bandages, ammo, and cover. And of course the French will be advancing. We could just run away, but if we don't end up searching things, we could have some issues with our commander. So this is something to bear in mind. For now, let's see. So we need to search for some ammo, we need to search for some supplies. Now, Schmidt-Bauer is inattentive, so he's not going to be the best person to do so. So we're going to... Hunt is still wounded, so we'll let him stay where he is. Dana, you can search the alcove. And then Peterson is tired. That's okay, you can search the hideout. The other two of you, just relax, take cover. We don't want to fight until we absolutely need to. Of course, as we're doing things, the French will change their position, they'll move. We'll have to see how things go. Right, Peterson, did you find anything? He was able to find some ammunition, that's good. We've got limited ammunition available. And what about you, Dana? Did you find anything? Didn't find any ammunition, but did find some bandages. So we've got a few bandages available, excellent. Right, we want to start thinking about where to go to next. There's a few places over here which would be nice to get to. There's good cover, and there's likely to be equipment there. We have to be wary that there's some French over there as well. But I think that's probably the best thing to do. Let's try that. So we'll move along. Hopefully we won't get wounded in the process. But the French will keep progressing into the trenches as well. So we'll have to kind of bear this in mind. Okay, we've still got a fairly good German contingent here, so... Although the strength of the French, I think, are more. Search some crates, again, not for Schmidt-Bauer to do. We will send Dana back out, I think, to do that. We could move again. But there's a slight risk of injury, and we'd be leaving Dana by himself. But I think we'll do that, and then next turn Dana can move. I would say that would be the best option. You know, our commander has given us a very important job to search ammunition. Oh, that's going to be a wound. Are you okay there, Hunt? Okay, so we've got some artillery. He's wounded, he's got stressed. Understandably, with the artillery going everywhere. Dana's going to have to return to the troop, that's okay. There's not much he can do this turn. I'm not sure we found anything there, unfortunately. In terms of searching the knapsack, we can't use Dana, he is away. So we will use Peterson to do that, and the other two can just take cover. Hopefully he can return to the troop. It is exhausting, but hopefully we can find what we need there. So he'll return, and hopefully we'll be okay. We're kind of in a good position in relation to the French. Dana, what did you find? Apart from this grenade, I didn't find anything else. At least we have a grenade. And Peterson, do you find anything? He found some ammunition. Good. We could go over here, but there's a real risk of artillery coming in from multiple angles. I'm not sure that's something we want to risk, in all honesty. So we could probably retreat here. It's very low danger, there's good cover, low protection from artillery, and we might find some equipment. All of you move that way. We're going to have to go above ground temporarily, but hopefully we'll be okay. Seems like we are. Good. While the rest of our soldiers fight, we're going to be working on equipment. But the French keep on moving as well. You can see them moving there in the distance. So, search the crates. We will use... We can use Dana for that, that's fine. He should be okay. Could advance this way. It's away from the battle. But it's also within grenade range. So, I'm not sure we want to do that just yet. For now, just take cover. We're in a good enough spot here. It's relatively safe. I see no real reason to move from here for the time being until we're given orders to move on, which we haven't had to do just yet. Oh, there we go, speak of the devil. Soldiers, we're falling back, retreat to the next defensive line. So we can suppress, but that is jeopardize enemy movement, it's exhausting, consumes ammunition, and risk of injury. Okay, let's just have a look at what our soldiers are saying, if anything. So, Dana found some ammunition, excellent. Hunt, we should provide cover, fire so our officers can retreat, so our fellow soldiers can retreat. I'm not sure that's our best option, to be honest with you. Okay. Very low danger, excellent cover, protection, but there is narrow cover. I think we're going to do that. I think, again, it's probably the safest thing we can do. Got some very wounded soldiers here, also retreating back. Hopefully they can buy us time. Unfortunately, I've got to keep my men alive more than anything else. Okay, I think Hunt there might have taken a bit of bad damage. My wound as well. Simply let us escape. I'm not sure how much longer I can hold out. Hunt, can you get yourself healed up? I'm not sure you can. We don't need to suppress... We can suppress fire. But again, I'm not sure that's the most ideal thing to do. Search the crates. Who can go for that? Hunt needs to just get out of there. Peterson, you're going to go search the crates for us. And then we're going to keep getting out of here if we can. We can move to here, advance, remove obstacles, that might block the way. Or we could shoot. What about over here? Is this safer? It's safe, but there are corpses in the area, so it's going to serve as a gruesome reminder. So no, we're going to move. We'll move back here, I think. Yeah, there's moderate cover here, that's fine. We'll move back, and he can stay and search the crates, and then he can follow us further back afterwards. At least that's the idea. Okay, how are we doing? Who are we going to be firing at? So he's going to return to troop. We can rally, which just takes cover. Or we can suppress. You know what? We've got limited. We still have limited ammunition. Let's just rally while we wait for Peterson to return. So retreat across the creek. Collect ammunition and equipment. Where is the creek from here? Suggests to me that it's behind us. So, as the Germans retreat, we're going to need to buy ourselves time. We're kind of at the back, to be honest. So really, we're probably doing okay. Let's get going. Peterson, did you find anything? We did find some more bandages. So that's not too bad. Let's move to the next cover, where there is at least some cover going for us. Or we can go here for moderate cover. Bushes. Oh, bushes are moderate cover. That sounds better. Let's do that instead. It's a little bit further distance, but it's probably a bit safer because we won't be able to be seen. So there's a lot of shelling happening over there. We might just want to get out of here. We might just want to retreat. If we can avoid any issues, that'd be good. This one here looks safe enough. There is some moderate danger. Let's get out of here. Let's get across the creek. Once we get across the creek, we can buy... Hopefully, we'll be safe. So we'll be safe, even if perhaps some of the other soldiers within the German army will have not been. The question is, have we got enough ammunition and supplies to please our superior officer, Lieutenant Carlsbrook? We shall have to find out. Looks like we've retreated to a much bigger camp than we were at before. Wednesday, May 19th, 1915. The explosions, gunshots and screams still echoed in my ears. We'd only been fighting for a few minutes, and yet it felt as if years had passed since this morning, and the everyday life back home a lifetime away. To be in the camp now, safely far behind the front, was surreal. The light-hearted chirping of the birds almost drowned out the dull rumble of the front, the cries of pain from the field hospital where we had taken Hunt. My people lay down exhausted on the grass, surrounded by the boxes of ammunition and equipment we had saved. Dirtied and bloodied, some still pale and trembling. But soon the angry voice of the lieutenant in the distance abruptly broke the spirit of peace, even before we could see him coming towards us amidst the tents. On your feet, men. Let's show him some respect. It'll probably help us in the long run. I ordered and motioned my men to stand at attention. Lieutenant von Carlsbrook looked satisfied, but a look at the meagre ammunition supplies merely ruined this good impression. Ludicrous performance, sir. He assessed angrily. Union people couldn't even manage the simplest task. Apparently, with this bunch of slubs, you managed to be happy if anyone even shows a modicum of competency. Our troops were in the best position for a counterattack, but no, the reserve was too cowardly to take advantage of this unique opportunity we had prepared for them. The lieutenant rumbled without prompting. And now the Herr Major accuses me, us, of having abandoned the trench line unnecessarily. A disgrace. Henceforth we hold the line, come what may. My people did their best. I'm standing up for them. I defended my soldiers' performance. The lieutenant raised an eyebrow skeptically. Then I expect drastic improvement from you and your people. My promotion to Oberleutnant is at stake. Well, it's not about your promotion. Set up camp. Sooner or later we'll get our chance to pay back the French he ordered, and left us to take out his displeasure on others. He's not a very nice person, is he? So Hunt is at the field hospital. So at the moment we can't do much. So we've got low prestige, but there's still an excellent mood in the camp. Ah, you're Hunt's Unteroffizier? I'm Sister Elizabeth Ritter. I organise our small field hospital here. Don't worry, Hunt is doing pretty well. He will soon recover from his wound. I'm honestly glad you were overwhelmed so quickly. The shorter a skirmish, the fewer dead and wounded. Defeat is good. As far as I'm concerned, certainly yes. The lieutenant can throw a fit about losing the trench line all he wants, When I'm content with not being overburdened and nobody dying under my care just because we don't have enough time for proper treatment. I agree. There are some people in this camp who believe the war will be decided right here. Complete nonsense. They want fame and glory. As a nurse, I know there's only agony and death to be won here. Fair enough. Who do we need to speak to? The field cook. I'm Anton Zielinski. I've had to conquer anything for you right now as your squad hasn't been allocated supplies. Better contact Hennek. He is responsible for your supplies. Okay. So I like some additional supplies. The storage is slowly emptying. There's still enough left for you to get some extra if you need it. I'm also going to offer you any help. The artillery is using a lot of my ammunition these days. People have already complained they can hardly keep up. There's no harm in taking more helpers to load the cart. I'll take as many as you can spare. You know what? I'll do that. Because I would like to... I'd like to bring them on side, if I can. Would you give me better foods? That's no problem at all. I still have some fresh meat and vegetables in stock. I'll have it brought to your cook. Excellent. So, now we can go pick up food. Lieutenant Carlsbrook approves. Or disapproves, because I'm getting good food. Nice food. But that's okay. We'll manage. Who do we want to send to do that? We will send... He's really going to hate us for that. Very low prestige. Let's send you to go do that, and send him to camp. Peterson can do that, and then unloading the carts we can send Schmidt. We send Dana to do that. Who else do we need to speak to? Okay, there we go. Rations. We've got high quality food, so I'm going to say maintain rations as they are. Okay, that should be it. Good recovery. Hopefully Hunt will be out next turn, or next moment. Sunday, May 23rd, 1915. One evening, Dan was sitting in front of his tent, pushing his boots with dedication. Peterson came up and quietly watched a bit before asking, "Why do you even bother? They'll just get dirty again." Dana frowned. "So do clothes and homes, and still you clean those, don't you?" "But those don't get dirty every other step. Our boots do, especially in this mud. Besides, who am I supposed to impress with my shiny boots around here?" Hearing that, Dana paused, lay down his clearing rag, and locked eyes with Peterson, his expression sober and grave. Honour demands that a German soldier is to represent the fatherland at all times. With contemptuous downward gaze, he added, "And your boots are disgrace to the fatherland." Peterson rolled his eyes dismissively. It was then that he noticed me, and for a moment... worry flashed across his face. Fatherland does not consent to your boots, clean your dirty boots, or as you were. We're just going to say as you were, we're not going to get involved. I answered briefly and moved on. That seemed to irritate Dana. Oh well, tough. Okay, May 24th. Lieutenant von Carlsbrook had just finished one of his inspections of the camp and was on his way to the next when Peterson came up to me. Made sure the lieutenant was no longer within earshot, and then nudged me with his elbow and gave me a cook again. How he stays so serious when he's around, I couldn't do that. Such a post aristocrat with his detached ideas of how things should be. He began to imitate one of the lieutenant's speeches about the importance of preserving the shine of our uniform buttons, and then interrupted himself with an amused snort. I guess that's his way of trying to get a medal for brilliance. Peterson laughed and added, "It's not like he cares why he gets the medal, as long as he can show off at home without actually doing anything himself." We wanted the lieutenant a little bit longer before we went back to our duties. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us. When I faced Soldier Schmidbauer alone for the first time, he stood expendably in front of me, impeccably adjusted. "Your orders? You can count on me." He spoke clearly and devoid of humour. I liked his obvious meticulousness. And so does the respect he showed me. "Very well, soldier," I said in an authoritative tone. "Do not disappoint me." "I won't." Then suddenly became a little more confidential in tone. "You and I, we have to keep the group in line." He's a welcome asset. "Absolutely. I agreed with him. I'll get back to you on that." And he seemed very pleased. Any time he encouraged me. And we exchanged complicit glances once more before parting. Ooh, we have a new soldier. Who are you? Alfred Lutzer. Lutzer? We'll go with Lutzer. So he's tired, but he's trained in shooting. He's fairly tolerant, he's pretty pragmatic, not very patriotic, but he's courageous, sociable, and outspoken. Okay, that's not too bad. What do you want to know? What about your origin, my good man? He's from Hanover, and your family. I have 4 children and a wife, and I'll never abandon my family. Very well. And bonjour, monsieur. Are you the officer who's pitched their tents right there at the camp entrance? My name is Marianne LaRoche. I'm one of the village elders in our community. Since I can speak German, I try my best to mediate between the residents of the village and the village soldiers here in the camp. These villagers are suspect. I keep hearing a series of partisans attacking their comrades along the front. Organise some patrols through the village. Should the French use control here so they don't get any foolish ideas. Very low prestige. We've still got an excellent mood though. Fortunately, Hunt is still in the field hospital. He's still fairly wounded. The villagers will disapprove if we don't patrol the village, but we do need to keep Carsbrook on side, I would say. Who's best to do this? Very intolerant. We'll send Lotzer out because he is tolerant. So Schmidt is not, so we don't really want him to be dealing with the French villagers. And who out of Peterson and Dana? Okay, we'll send Peterson out to patrol the village as well. And the other 2 can set up a camp. That should be okay. When's the next shipment coming in? Should receive the next supply shipment in a couple of days. Is there anything you can help? I can help you with not at the moment. Okay, that's fine. We'll patrol the village. We'll set up a camp while our man recovers in the hospital. When I saw the soldier Alfred Lotzer at camp, he was inspecting his assign rifle with great interest, almost as if he was memorising the design. Keep it up. I nodded at him. The first thing a good soldier does is familiarise himself with his material. Lotzer looked up. Professional interest only. I'm a toolmaker. He muttered as if he was in no way interested in being a good soldier according to my standards. Good to have you with us, sir. Your skills can be very useful here. He nodded gratefully and turned back to his rifle. We've got to keep friendly with our men. If we don't keep friendly with our men, then I don't really see what the point is. Maud everywhere since Zielinski commentated as he held out an exemplary loaf of bread covered in green stains. I have to throw it away. I lowered my gaze anxiously to the boxes of baked goods at his feet. The warehouse was still well stocked for the moment. Get rid of it. We're not eating mouldy bread if we can help it. So we'll lose some rations there. But it's for the better. It's for the sake of everyone, really. Oh, good. Hunt is out of hospital, although he is still lightly wounded. He's having a good recovery, though, so that's not bad at all. Right. The Major's ordered the start of a major offensive this morning. Unfortunately, we don't have a chance to win fame and honour just yet. We're just in reserve for the time being. Make sure you and your men are ready to move out at all times. After all, we don't want to disappoint the Major once it's finally our turn. Do you have any extra work for me? How unexpectedly eager. You tried to suck up to me. Fine, with me, God knows you need it with your current track record. Perhaps I'll overlook your previous mistakes if you allocate more men to the entrenchment efforts, the more the better. Okay, we can help with digging the trenches, that's fine. And Elizabeth needs our help. We need to help with something here in the hospital. What do you need done? Thank you for taking the time. Sister Elizabeth seemed tense, even though the field hospital did not seem too crowded at the moment. Please follow me. She motioned and led me past the hospital towards a brown patch of land with a series of shallow ditches dug in a line. Graves. I heard there's a new offensive coming. Elizabeth paused and turned towards me with dire seriousness in her eyes and pointed towards the graves. We're going to need a lot more of these. Do you think you can spare some of your men? To dig. I'll see what I can do. I conceded with some hesitation, but I can't promise anything. Elizabeth nodded with gratitude and put a gentle hand on my arm. Thank you, that's all I ask. I know you're in a difficult position. I don't mean to make it harder for you. With these words, she turned back towards the field hospital. My guess is that if I help with the jobs that Elizabeth has for me, that will allow me to hopefully be in an okay state with her, and if some of my troops get wounded, they may be the ones to actually receive treatment. Okay, so Hunt is now out. And someone else wants to speak to us. The latrine is full to the brim, so we'll take care of that before it overflows. Not a very fun job, it's pretty unpleasant. Today will have consequences. I mean, a lot of this will have issues. So who can we get to dig the graves who are relatively okay? Schmidbauer is optimistic. I'd like to keep him that way. Hunt can go dig some graves. He's compassionate, and he can take Dana with him. Oh no, Dana's pretty exhausted. He can take Lotsa with him. In terms of the latrine, not a very fun job, I admit, but Dana, you're going to have to give that one a go, I think. And then in terms of digging the trenches, I want to give myself a fighting chance with Carsbrook, so the remaining two will go help there. Oh, we've got to do guard duty as well. Oh, that's a problem. So that improves hospital occupancy, I see. But it's not a guaranteed thing. This is the problem where we have too many jobs, because we do have to do guard duty as well, so unfortunately okay, we're going to move Peterson and Schmidbauer up. I want to keep hospital occupancy as good as possible, really, if I can help it. Even if it means that the extra job we asked Carsbrook for, he's going to be annoyed that we didn't do that job. Peterson caught my eye at dinner. He was staring listlessly in the stew and kept peering into others' bowls. After dinner, he complained to Zielinski that there would not be enough meat in his portion. The meat portion was very small, that's true. But I imagine everyone else is the same. Peterson seemed satisfied and pointed at Zielinski. Zielinski looked at me and returned somewhat confused. But our supplies are limited, Peterson. As German soldiers, we have to make do with what we have, but I'm from Schleswig, we are Danes, Peterson replied, as if that would change the situation. Now we're in the same boat. Sorry, Peterson, no special treatment. I hope you see it that way. It seemed a little mechanical. I could tell he was still very unsure. It would certainly take some time to gain his trust. In any case, he was very obviously aware that my considerate gesture did not change anything about his empty cookware. There's not much we can do about that, to be honest. Madame Laroche, the speaker of the nearby French village, greeted me with a smile, but quickly cut to the chase. Why she come to meet me? Your cannons have been thundering day and night, and the villagers are scared, especially the younger children are suffering. It was only in that moment that it occurred to me that artillery truly had been firing almost non-stop for some time now. Of course, the distance, if constant grumbling, paled in comparison to the actual impacts we faced on the battlefield, and I long learned to put the noise out of my mind. Or perhaps my hearing had just gotten that bad. Do you know how much longer this will continue? Madame Loche asked carefully. Until the Major decides it has been enough. That way we're not really giving away any secrets, because that's generally what the command would do. I come to with a shrug. After all, we had to live with the noise just like they did. No one bothered to notify us about these things. Madame Laroche frowned at my dismissive reply. Let's hope that time will come. She sighed before casting a sharp glance over the direction of the battery, and for the sake of her husbands and sons on the other side as well. With that, she said a brief goodbyes, turned, and walked away. Okay. So this is Franz Wellinger. He's our new man. I hope not all the French girls in the village are already taken, or at least that they're willing to make an exception for me. So a little bit of a womanizer, perhaps. He's physically fit, he's also swift, he's respectful, he's very pragmatic, diplomatic, compassionate, cautious and sociable. You know what, Franz? You seem like a good chap. So there's a pub visit added. I'm not sure what that's in regards to. We're still waiting for resupply. I'll give you some provisions from my reserves so men don't starve. Make it last, don't squander it. Okay, we still have an excellent mood at the moment. Supply is running low. I loathe giving the men insufficient rations, but could become necessary soon. We will go for meagre rations just to buy ourselves time. Otherwise, I think we're going to have some issues. And Carsbrook says that we have a few prisoners of war and our camp need guarding until they can move to prison. Till then, it'll be your responsibility. So 2 people need to guard the captives. That's fine. There's a pub in the village. Hunt and I would like to visit with your permission. Be nice if we can do that for them. Trip to the pub. You know what? We'll give Hunt and Dana the break. That way they'll be happy and hopefully we can be okay going forward. Guide the captives. These 2 are already off to the pub. We're not going to put Schmidt-Bauer on the captives job because he's going to be very intolerant. We'll put Lotzer and Wellinger to guard the captives. Schmidt-Bauer and Pedersen. Oh, Lotzer needs a rest. He really needs a rest. We'll put Pedersen instead. That should be okay. And hopefully everyone gets a rest at some point soon. All gone, sighed the man on the other side of the table, taking the last sip of liquor. He was also an Unteroffizier. His group was camped next to ours, and our men had spent their free time together. A rat infestation had destroyed the group's food stash almost completely. I know you have to look out for yourselves too, but could you and your group perhaps give us some supplies? Our own camp was adequately filled at the moment, but it was certainly not set up to supply double the amount of men. I'm responsible for my people and only my people. I'm sorry. He immediately understood that I would not help him. Before I even had to openly refuse his request, he interrupted me and apologised for asking in the first place. I'd like to help you, but unfortunately, I have to look after my men. I'm getting more and more people as time goes on. Okay, Hunt came hurrying towards me, clearly upset and with a bloodstained uniform. Have you seen this sorry state of the field hospital? He asked, visibly aghast. I just helped carry one of the wounded who couldn't make it to his own to the field hospital. The injured are everywhere and the beds are overflowing already. The nurses just told me to drop him off wherever. They had no time to tend to him anyway. I had known, with the intense fighting the last few days, that a lot of injured were passing through our camp. But I think the state of the field hospital had gotten so bad, is there nothing to be done? We will look into it. Not promising too much. Hopefully managing expectations. We're still very low prestige. We're in a good mood. It's presumably because of the food supplies. Low supply stock and hospital overburdened. Okay, we've got guard duty with Carsbrook. We're still pretty low prestige. Your officers are dissatisfied with me because by now even the quality of rations is suffering from current supply bottlenecks. I have a suggestion of how the both of us could help each other through a trade. Are you interested? If you give me some of your canned meat and have a man move it to, I'll give you bigger bread rations for your people in return. While this will make your rations more boring, you'll end up with significantly more daily rations than before. Done. Any help that you need? No. So we can trade provisions. This will be less exciting provisions, but given how low our stock is anyway, I think that's an important thing to do. Let's go see if we can go to the hospital, the field hospital. Speak to Elizabeth. We could offer assistance. We'll try to offer assistance to help our soldier out. And I'm going to go speak to the village as well, if I can. Hello, Madame Laroche. You want to help us? Yes, I do. Excuse me, Monsieur, that's surprising. It's harvest time. We can hardly keep up with the work. We're grateful for any men that you can spare. Of course, you'll get a share of the harvest in return. That would actually get us some food, so that's not a bad thing to do. So villagers grateful when we get some food. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs to do. Who wants to do the harvest? Hunt. Actually, you know what, Wellinger? You wanted to spend some time with the local ladies. Wellinger, you can go do that. In terms of this, we will send... This isn't a tiring job. It is unpleasant. But we'll send... how are you doing, Lutz? Are you now recovered? Not really. We'll send Peterson to go get provisions. That's fine. Lutz can rest. Guard duty will put... Dana and Hunt there. And then we'll put Schmidt-Bauer in the hospital to assist. Lutz can rest. Yeah, meagre rations. What we will, however, do though, we'll go back to the field kitchen. I can't give you second serving, that's fine. I want you to go back to standard rations. Hopefully that will help our troops going forward. Because we're going to get some more food here. We should be able to manage. I would hope anyway. After my deal with the field intendant, Zielinski couldn't give out extremely small portions of meat. While the rations were being distributed, some of the men grumbled discontentedly about the situation. I explained the trade I made to them. Less meat for us in exchange for more other rations that would nourish us longer. The men were upset about my decision. It seems they would have judged the supply situation differently than I had. If there becomes a supply issue, at least we have the food. And it means I can feed you more. I know there's less meat, but I can feed you more food. Dana had settled in effortlessly in many regards. As a professional soldier, many things came very easily to him that other new soldiers had difficulties with. He had even become a mentor to some of his comrades, whom he could help out with his wealth of experience. However, word had got around that he was an Alsatian, basically a Frenchman, as some people put it, even in his presence. Is my origin a problem for you? He asked, straightforwardly, in a somewhat peculiar Alsatian accent. Not in the slightest. You're here, you're helping. This shouldn't be an issue. The way your comrades talk about you is wrong. He looked surprised at first, but then his features softened in relief. Thank you. He saluted neatly and left. Very well. You've shown yourself not complete and unreliable, but I'll keep an eye on you. Aha. So we're now at low prestige. Not extremely low prestige. Okay, so some people... How was Lutz so tired? He literally didn't do anything last turn. Okay, excellent. So resupply came in. Can I get additional provisions? Feel free to help yourself. After all, that's what it's there for. We'll get as much food as entirely possible. There is a heat wave though, so that's something to bear in mind. Carlsberg disapproves, but I don't particularly care. I've got to keep my men safe. I've served up rations for now, and that's before anything goes to waste or attracts vermin. And the latrine is over brimming, so we're going to need to deal with that. The Major's given us our marching orders before going to battle soon. About time. I hope you keep your people as ready as ordered. I expect you and your men to give you all in the field. This is our chance to chase the French out of the trenches once and for all. Okay. Pick up food. Who wants to go do that? Hunt, you can go do that. And in terms of the latrine fatigue... you have not much morale. We're on double rations, everyone, so... Dana, hopefully you'll like me after that. Everyone else will rest before the grand campaign. We were preparing for the imminent operation a few days from now. The mood was particularly tense, but it seemed to weigh particularly hard on Wellinger. When we had heard of our upcoming deployment, he turned pale, and the fear had not left his eyes since. Is everything alright? I asked him carefully. Perhaps there was some way to help handle the situation. He looked up and sighed deeply. To be honest, the thought of going to battle and never possibly returning, he gulped an ode to his gaze. I nodded. Every soldier knew this fear. Together we'll come through. You and I and all our comrades will just have to watch out for one another. I'm not sure if he's going to believe that. With a faint smile, he glanced over towards the other men and seemed to find a glimmer of hope again. I'll do what I can. He promised in return, and returned to his task, slightly less gloomy. Hunt looked neat and well-groomed, and yet I noticed right away that his appearance didn't entirely comply with the regulations. And when he did come closer, I realised that he wore a blue forget-me-not in his buttonhole, and had turned up the collar of his uniform jauntily, His sleeves had also been skillfully and promptly rolled up. You look fancy, I said good-humouredly. Hunt was pleased. Yes, I have a flair for aesthetics, he declared. When the war is over, I'll make films that capture the beauty in this world. You work on films? He's an actor, I guess, or a director maybe. It was at this moment that Hunt really came to life. He talked about the budding film industry that was beginning to flourish and how he gained a foothold in it. At first I only operated the projector in the cinema, but then the owner of the cinema, who also owns a film production company, started using me more and more for all kinds of work. He never stopped talking and I listened attentively until we were interrupted. Men, tomorrow we march to battle, announced Lieutenant von Karlsbrook. He summoned all his subordinate officers to discuss the upcoming operation. Their fear of what might come was palpable, but most of them did their best to cover it up with their heads high and chests puffed up with pride. The goal of our mission is to conquer and hold the next trench line, the Lieutenant explained the plan. So far, there was no difference to most attack plans, but we have an ace up our sleeve. Artillery is in position, just waiting to cut off reinforcements from the enemy. I expect you to disadvantage aggressively and decisively. Do not disappoint me. At your command, Lieutenant. Let's play along, for now at least. The Lieutenant nodded, satisfied, saluted and dismissed us. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Now, of course, we have a few more soldiers. So now we have 6, or is it 7? It might be 7. That being said, that is the end of the demo for All Quiet in the Trenches. It will be released in early access on 17th January 2024, and of course there will be a link in the description below. And you know what, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the kind of more human side of war, where we actually spoke with our soldiers and spoke with the local villagers, the nurse in the hospital, and of course our rather disgruntled superior officer. And I like historical games. I like strategy games and deciding things, and sometimes deciding things with tough decisions I quite enjoy as well. So this has been All Quiet in the Trenches. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.